You are pure consciousness, and everything you behold, every circumstance, every event, every condition in your life is but a shadow, a reflection of your own wonderful human imagination. The fact that you are here listening to these words at this very moment is no mere coincidence. It is a divine appointment orchestrated by the depths of your own being. You see, time as we know it is merely a concept created by consciousness to experience succession. In reality, all moments exist simultaneously in the eternal NOL. Therefore, when I tell you to trust the timing of this message, I am asking you to recognize that your own divine self, your own wonderful human imagination, has drawn you to this moment for a specific purpose. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you questioned the timing of events in your life? How often have you wondered why now or why not sooner? I tell you with absolute certainty that every moment is the perfect moment, for it is chosen by the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination. In the book of Ecclesiastes, it is written, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven." This is not speaking of some external force determining your timing. No, it is speaking of you, the operant power, choosing the perfect moment for your own awakening. The very fact that you are receiving this message today is proof that you are ready for it. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate this profound truth. You see, consciousness is the only reality. And as your consciousness expands, new truths become available to you. This is why you must trust the timing. Let me share with you a principle that I have tested countless times, and I invite you to test it for yourself. The principle is this: your outer world is nothing more than your inner world pushed out. Therefore, if this message has reached you today, it is because your inner world is ready for the transformation it contains. Many of you sit here wondering about your desires, your manifestations, your dreams. You question why they haven't materialized yet. But I tell you, timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens from you. You are the operant power. You are the one determining the timing through your state of consciousness. When you truly understand this principle, you will never again question the timing of anything in your life. You will know with unwavering certainty that everything unfolds in perfect divine order, your divine order. For you are God pushed out into expression, and God's timing is always perfect. Now, let me explain something that many find difficult to grasp. The time it takes for your desire to materialize in the physical world is directly proportional to the naturalness of the state you assume. When you truly inhabit the state of your wish fulfilled, when it becomes so natural that you cease to think about it, that is when it materializes. This is why you must trust the timing. For when you trust, you relax into the naturalness of your desired state. When you trust, you cease to wrestle with time. And in that cessation of struggle, your manifestation appears with a naturalness that makes you wonder why you ever doubted. Consider the growth of a seed planted in the ground. It doesn't fret about when it will become a tree. It doesn't compare its growth to other seeds. It simply rests in the certainty of its own unfolding. This is the level of trust you must cultivate in the timing of your own manifestations. You see, the outside world is dead. It has no power to determine when things happen in your life. It is your consciousness, your imagination, that gives life to everything you experience. Therefore, when this message reaches you, it is because your consciousness has drawn it to you at the perfect moment for your evolution. Let me share with you a profound truth that few understand. Time is not a barrier to your desire's fulfillment. Your concept of time is. When you truly grasp that all possibilities exist now, that all states are available now, you will cease to be a slave to time and become its master. The Bible tells us in the beginning was the Word. This beginning is not some distant past event. It is now. Every moment is the beginning. And in every moment you are speaking the word, imagining that creates your reality. Therefore, trust at this moment This Enodao is the perfect beginning for whatever you desire to manifest. Many of you have been waiting for signs for the perfect moment to start living from your desired state. I tell you, the arrival of this message is your sign. The fact that you are hearing these words is your perfect moment. For in truth, there is no waiting, there is only accepting or rejecting the state you desire to occupy. Think about the times in your life when something arrived at what seemed like the perfect moment. Was it not true that your state of consciousness had shifted just before its arrival? This is the law operating with mathematical precision. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. When you understand this law, you will never again say, I'm not ready or it's not the right time. You will know that your consciousness is always ready, that every moment is the right time. For consciousness is the only reality. Consider how many times in your life you've looked back and understood why certain things happened when they did. This retroactive understanding is proof that there is a divine order to all things, an order that proceeds from your own wonderful human imagination. The great mystic Meister Eckhart said, "The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me." In the same way, the consciousness through which you perceive this message is the same consciousness that orchestrated its arrival in your experience. Therefore, trust it completely. You see, what appears to be timing is really the perfect synchronization between your state of consciousness and its outer manifestation. When you change your state of consciousness, the timing of events in your life changes automatically. This is why you must trust the timing of this message. It is evidence of your own inner transformation. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The very doubt you might feel about the timing of things in your life is itself perfectly timed. For it is through doubting that you come to seek deeper understanding, and through seeking that you come to know the truth of who you really are. Remember the story of Joseph in the Bible. He was sold into slavery, imprisoned, and seemed to suffer many delays before his rise to power. But was any of it poorly timed? No. Every event was perfectly orchestrated to bring about the fulfillment of his divine destiny. Your life is no different. The secret is this. Instead of trying to time your manifestations, allow your manifestations to time themselves through your unwavering faith in the law. When you do this, you will discover that everything happens at exactly the right moment. Not according to your limited human understanding, but according to the infinite wisdom of your divine self. Many of you have been told to be patient, to wait for the right time. But I tell you something different. There is no waiting in consciousness. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you have activated the divine timing. Your only task then is to persist in that state until it becomes your natural state of being. Think of it this way: when you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust the invisible process that transforms that seed into a mighty tree. Similarly, when you plant a desire in your consciousness, you must trust the invisible process that brings it into manifestation. This message reaching you today is like that seed being planted. It contains within it everything necessary for its full manifestation in your life. Your task is not to question the timing, but to nurture it with your faith and water it with your unwavering assumption that what you desire is already yours. The Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This faith is not a blind belief in future events. It is the present evidence of an existing reality in consciousness. When you have this faith, timing becomes irrelevant, because you know that what is yours in consciousness must manifest in your experience. Let me share with you a profound truth that has transformed countless lives. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by external conditions or circumstances. It is determined solely by the consistency of your assumption. When you consistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, divine timing takes over. You see, what appears to be delay is often divine preparation. Just as a mother carries her child for 9 months before birth, your desires are being carried in the womb of your consciousness until the perfect moment of their birth into physical reality. Trust this process implicitly. Consider how the entire universe operates with perfect timing. The rotation of the earth, the movement of the planets, the changing of the seasons. This same divine intelligence that orchestrates the cosmos is within you, timing the manifestation of your desires with equal precision. The very fact that you are receiving this message now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these truths. This is why you must trust the timing. It is a reflection of your own spiritual readiness. Remember, in the realm of consciousness, there is no past or future, only the eternal no. Therefore, the perfect timing for anything you desire is always now, provided you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is the secret of divine timing. Many of you struggle with what you call divine timing versus your timing. But I tell you, there is no difference. Your timing, I has divine timing, for you are the divinity you seek. The only thing that delays your manifestation is your belief in delay. When you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will cease to concern yourself with timing altogether. For in consciousness, everything exists, no you. Your only task is to select the state you wish to occupy and persist in it until it becomes your reality. Let me tell you something that few understand. Time is not a factor in the fulfillment of your desires. It is your attitude toward time that determines when your desires will manifest. When you cease to be anxious about timing, divine timing naturally takes over. You see, anxiety about timing is a confession of lack of faith in the law. When you truly believe that what you have assumed in consciousness must manifest, you become indifferent to time. This indifference is the secret of perfect timing. Consider how a flower blooms. It doesn't force itself open, it unfolds naturally in its own perfect timing. Your desires manifest in the same way when you trust the process and allow them to unfold naturally according to the law of consciousness. The fact that this message has reached you today is proof that you are ready for this understanding. Your consciousness has drawn it to you at the perfect moment for your spiritual evolution. Trust this timing implicitly. Remember, everything in your life, every person, every circumstance, every event is drawn to you by your state of consciousness. Therefore, trust that your present state of consciousness has drawn this message to you for a divine purpose. Let me share with you a secret that will transform your understanding of timing. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not a period of waiting. It is a period of preparation. During this interval, you are being prepared to receive what you have imagined. Many of you think that your manifestations are taking too long. But I tell you, nothing takes too long when you understand that time is simply the movement of events in consciousness. The only thing that can delay your manifestation is your own doubt and anxiety about its timing. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens from you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider this: every desire you have ever fulfilled came at exactly the right moment. Not a moment too soon or too late. This is because your consciousness, which is God, knows the perfect timing for everything. Trust this divine wisdom within you. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. This is why you must trust the timing of this message. Remember, in the world of Caesar, the outer world, there appears to be time and space. But in the world of consciousness, the inner world, everything exists now. Your task is to bridge these worlds through your faithful assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by your actions in the outer world, but by your assumption in the inner world. When your assumption is natural and unwavering, perfect timing follows automatically. You see, what appears to be delay is often divine protection. Just the fruit must ripen before it can be harvested. Your desires must ripen consciousness before they can manifest in your experience. Trust this ripening process implicitly. Consider how everything in nature has its own perfect timing. The gestation of a baby, the metamorphosis of a butterfly, the changing of the seasons. Your desires operate according to the same divine law of perfect timing. The fact that this message has reached you today is no accident. It is evidence of your own expanded consciousness drawing to you the very understanding you need at this moment. Trust this divine orchestration. Remember, you are not a helpless being waiting for the right time to receive your good. You are the operant power selecting the perfect timing through your state of consciousness. Trust this power within you. Many of you have been taught to believe in external timing, in luck, in chance, in fate. But I tell you, there is no external timing. There is only the timing that proceeds from your own wonderful human imagination. Let me share with you a truth that will set you free. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by conditions in the outer world, but by the consistency of your assumption in the inner world. When your assumption is unwavering, perfect timing follows naturally. You see, what appears to be waiting is really the operation of law. Just as a seed must go through a specific process before it becomes a tree, your desires must go through a specific process in consciousness before they manifest in experience. Consider how many times in your life something arrived at what seemed like just the right moment. Was this coincidence? No. It was the perfect operation of law. Your consciousness drawing to you exactly what you needed at exactly the right time. The very fact that you are receiving this understanding now is proof of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. Trust this expansion implicitly. Remember, in the realm of consciousness, there is no such thing as too early or too late. There is only the perfect know-all, in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your task is to select the state you wish to occupy and trust the timing of its manifestation. Let me tell you something that few understand. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not empty time. It is filled with the invisible activity of consciousness, preparing the way for your desire's fulfillment. Trust this invisible activity. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that proceeds from you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider the perfection of timing in your own life. How certain events had to happen in a specific order to bring you to where you are now. This same divine intelligence is at work in the timing of your current desires. The fact that this message has reached you today is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has drawn it to you at exactly the right moment for your spiritual evolution. Trust this divine orchestration completely. Remember, you are not subject to time. Time is subject to you. For you are pure consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Therefore, trust that your timing is always perfect, because it proceeds from your own divine self. Many of you worry about missed opportunities or lost time. But I tell you, in consciousness, there is no such thing as a missed opportunity or lost time. There is only the eternal Noel, in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Let me share with you a profound truth. The timing of your manifestations is not determined by your efforts in the outer world, but by your ability to remain faithful to your assumption in the inner world. When your faith is unwavering, perfect timing follows naturally. You see, what appears to be delay is really the preparation of circumstances necessary for the fulfillment of your desire. Just as a mother carries her child for 9 months before birth, your desires must be carried in consciousness before their manifestation. Consider how everything in nature has its perfect timing: the blooming of a flower, the ripening of fruit, the changing of seasons. Your desires operate according to the same divine law of perfect timing. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect timing. Your consciousness has expanded to the point where you can receive and integrate these profound truths. Trust this expansion implicitly. Remember, you are not waiting for the right time. You are creating the right time through your consciousness. For consciousness is the only reality, and everything in your world proceeds from it. Let me tell you something that will transform your understanding of timing. The interval between your desire and its manifestation is not a period of waiting. It is a period of becoming. During this interval, you are becoming the person who has what you desire. You see, when you truly understand that consciousness is the only reality, you will know that timing is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens through you. Your state of consciousness determines the timing of everything in your life. Consider how many times in your life divine timing has worked in ways you couldn't understand until later. This is because your higher self, your divine consciousness, knows the perfect sequence of events necessary for the fulfillment of your desires. The very resistance you feel to trusting timing is itself perfectly timed. For it is through this resistance that you come to understand the true nature of your own consciousness and its power to orchestrate all events in your life. Let me share with you a profound truth. There is no such thing as the right time or the wrong time in the absolute sense. There is only your conception of time, and this conception is determined by your state of consciousness. You see, what appears as timing in the outer world is really the movement of states in consciousness. When you move from one state to another in consciousness, the outer world must reorganize itself to reflect this movement. This reorganization appears as timing. Consider the story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. Was there a wrong time or right time for their exodus? No, the timing was determined by their consciousness, by their readiness to leave the state of bondage and enter the state of freedom. The fact that you are receiving this message today is proof of this principle. Your consciousness has shifted to the point where you are ready to receive and integrate these truths. This is why you must trust the timing implicitly. Remember, everything in your world is yourself pushed out. Therefore, the timing of events in your life is not determined by external factors, but by the movements of your own consciousness. Many of you question why certain desires haven't manifested yet. But I tell you, the very questioning is evidence that you are not yet dwelling naturally in the state of fulfillment. For when you truly dwell in that state, all sense of timing dissolves. Let me share with you the ultimate secret of divine timing. It is not about waiting for the right moment. It is about assuming the right state now. When you do this, divine timing takes care of itself. You see, in the realm of consciousness, there is no future to wait for and no past to regret. There is only the eternal know-how in which all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your task is to select the state you wish to occupy, no doubt. Consider how a master artist knows exactly when to apply each brushstroke. This knowing doesn't come from external timing. It comes from an inner sense of ripeness. Your manifestations work in the same way. The very fact that you are hearing these words now is evidence of this perfect artistic timing. Your consciousness has drawn them to you at exactly the right moment for your spiritual evolution. Remember, you are not a victim of time. You are its master. For you are pure consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Therefore, trust that your timing is always perfect. because it proceeds from your own divine self. As we conclude this message, I want you to understand something profound. The timing of its arrival in your life is not accidental. It is a direct reflection of your expanded consciousness, your readiness to receive these truths. You see, consciousness is eternal, existing outside of time and space. Therefore, when you operate from consciousness rather than from the limited perspective of the outer world, you align yourself with perfect divine timing. Trust then that this message has reached you today, because today is the perfect day for your consciousness to expand into this understanding. Trust that every desire in your heart is unfolding to divine timing, your divine timing. For you are the operant power, the divine presence, expressing itself through the vehicle of your human imagination. Trust this power implicitly, for it knows the perfect timing for all things. And now, as we bring this message to its close, remember this eternal truth. You are not bound by time. You are the creator of time. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are the creator of all moments. Therefore, trust the timing of this message. Trust the timing of your desires. Trust the timing of your life. For all timing proceeds from consciousness, and consciousness is who you really are. Now go forth in this understanding, knowing that every moment is the right moment when you dwell in the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. For timing is not your master, you are the master of timing. And that, my beloved friends, is the perfect truth of perfect timing. Remember, the very fact that you remain to hear this message to its conclusion is evidence of your readiness to receive its truth. Trust this divine orchestration, for it proceeds from the depths of your own being. For in truth, there is only one time, the eternal now thou. And in this NOU, you are already all that you desire to be. Trust this, live from this, and watch as divine timing unfolds perfectly in your life. Imagine, if you will, that your imagination is not just a fleeting fancy, but the very workshop of God. Yes, you heard me correctly. Your imagination, that inner world of thoughts and images, is the creative power of the universe itself, individualizing you. This is not hyperbole, my friends, but the fundamental truth of existence. In the next hour, you have the power to completely revolutionize your life. How, you may ask? By understanding and applying the law of assumption. This law states that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner assumptions. What you believe to be true, what you accept as real in your imagination, must and will manifest in your physical reality. Now let us delve deeper into this concept. Your conscious mind may rebel against this idea, citing past experiences, current circumstances, or logical arguments as to why this cannot be true. But I tell you with absolute certainty that your subconscious mind knows no limits. It does not argue, it does not question, it simply accepts and manifests. Think of your desire, that which you wish to experience in your life. It matters not whether it is wealth, love, health, or success. Whatever it may be, know this, it already exists in the infinite realm of possibility. Your task in this crucial hour is to bring it into your experience through the power of assumption. But how does one assume? It is simpler than you might think. Yet it requires a shift in consciousness that many find challenging at first. To assume a state, you must think from it, not of it. Let me explain the distinction, for it is vital to your success. When you think of a desire, you acknowledge its absence in your life. You see it as something separate from you, something to be attained. But when you think from a desire fulfilled, you embody the state of its realization. You live, move, and have your being as if it were already a fact in your world. Consider a man who desires financial abundance. If he thinks of wealth, he may say to himself, I want to be rich. I need more money. In doing so, he affirms his current state of lack. But if he thinks that, he embodies the consciousness of a wealthy individual. He feels the satisfaction, the security, the freedom that wealth brings. He does not wish for it. He knows it as his current reality. This, my dear friends, is the crux of the matter. In the next hour, I challenge you to assume the state of your desire fulfilled. Feel it, live it, breathe it, as if it were already yours. For in truth it is in the realm of imagination, which is the very substance of reality. Now some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? And to this I say, your physical senses show you only a shadow of reality. The true substance of things is not in their physical form, but in the consciousness that gives rise to them. Remember the words of Scripture. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your faith, your assumption, is the very substance of your desire. It is the evidence that precedes physical manifestation. In this next hour, I urge you to enter the silence of your own being. Close your eyes to the world of shadows and open your inner eye to the reality of your imagination. See yourself as you wish to be. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of your desire realized. Do not concern yourself with the how or the when. These belong to the realm of manifestation, which follows the law unfailingly. Your part is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to live in the end as if it were already accomplished. Let me share with you a technique that you can use in this transformative hour. It is called the pruning shears of revision. Just as a gardener prunes a tree to promote healthy growth, you can revise your day, your week, or even your entire life to align with your desired reality. Here's how it works. Before you sleep tonight, review the events of your day. But instead of accepting them as they appear to your physical senses, revise them in your imagination to match your desire. If you had an unpleasant interaction, reimagine it as harmonious. If you faced a financial setback, see it as an unexpected windfall. This is not denial or escapism. It is the highest form of creativity, for you are literally rewriting the script of your life. Remember, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the physical world. As you engage in this practice, you may find that doubts arise. Your rational mind may interject with reasons why your desire cannot be fulfilled. Do not fight these thoughts, for what you resist persists. Instead, gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let the peace and satisfaction of that state wash over you, dissolving all doubts and fears. In this 1 hour, you have the power to set in motion forces that will reshape your entire existence. But understand this, the law of assumption is not a one-time event. It is a way of life, a continuous state of being. You must persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Think of it as planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check its progress. You water it, you provide the right conditions, and you trust in the natural process of growth. Similarly, once you have planted the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, you must nurture it with consistent assumption and unwavering faith. Now let me address a common misconception. Some believe that this teaching encourages passivity, that by simply imagining, one need not take action in the physical world. Nothing could be further from the truth. Action will follow naturally from your changed consciousness, but it will be inspired action led by an inner knowing rather than the frantic doing that stems from a sense of lack or fear. As you assume the state your wish fulfilled, you will find that opportunities present themselves, doors open that were previously closed, and synchronicities occur that seem almost miraculous. This is the law in action, rearranging the circumstances of your life to match your inner assumption. But remember, the outer world may not change instantly. There is often a time lag between your inner assumption and its outer manifestation. This is what I call the interval of time. During this period, you must hold fast to your assumption, regardless of appearances. This is where many falter. They assume the state of their desire, but when they do not see immediate results, they revert to their old patterns of thinking. But I tell you, the law is infallible. What you persist in assuming must manifest. It is not a question of if, but when. In this transformative hour, I urge you to be bold in your imagining. Do not limit yourself based on what seems probable or possible, according to your current circumstances. Remember, you are not bound by your past or by the opinions of others. You are bound only by your own assumptions. Dare to assume greatness for yourself. Dare to imagine a life so wonderful, so fulfilling, that it takes your breath away. For you are not a mere mortal struggling in a world of chance and circumstance. You are a divine being endowed with the creative power of the universe itself. As we near the end of this crucial hour, I want you to understand the profound responsibility that comes with this knowledge. For if your imagination creates reality, then you are the author of your life story. Every experience, every relationship, every circumstance in your world is a reflection of your inner assumptions. This may seem a heavy burden at first, but in truth it is the key to your liberation. For if you have created your current reality through your assumptions, then you have the power to create anew. You are not a victim of circumstances, but the master of your fate. In the remaining minutes of this hour, I invite you to make a decision. Will you continue to live at the mercy of your habitual thinking, accepting whatever life seems to hand you? Or will you take up the mantle of your divine creativity and consciously shape your world through the power of assumption? The choice is yours and the time is now. Do not postpone your good, waiting for some future moment when conditions seem more favorable. The only moment of creation is the eternal now. In this very instant, you can assume a new state of consciousness that will transform your entire existence. As we conclude this transformative hour, I want to leave you with a final thought. The practice I have shared with you today is not a mere technique or a clever psychological trick. It is the very essence of creation, the modus operandi of the universe itself. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the creative power that brings worlds into being. You are claiming your birthright as a co-creator with the divine. This is not arrogance or hubris. It is the recognition of your true nature. So go forth from this hour with a new understanding of your own power. Let every thought, every feeling, every inner conversation be a conscious act of creation. Assume the best for yourself and for others. For as you lift yourself to higher levels of consciousness, you lift the entire world with you. Remember, the law is absolute. What you assume, you become. There are no limitations to what you can be, do, or have, except those you accept in your own imagination. So dream big, assume boldly, and watch as the universe moves to fulfill your desires. In closing, I remind you once again, this will work for you. Not in some distant future, not after years of struggle and effort, but right now, in this very hour. The power is within you, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it now. For in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but contribute to the transformation of the entire world. You are the light of the world. Let your light shine brightly, illuminating the path for all who seek a better way. Go now and create the life you desire. Assume the best, expect miracles, and live on the state of your wish fulfilled. The world is waiting for you to realize your divine potential. This is your moment. Seize it with both hands and never let go. For in this 1 hour, you have been given the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies within you. Use it well, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. Remember, this is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. Each day, each hour, each moment is an opportunity to realign your consciousness with your desires. Be vigilant in your mental diet, feeding your mind with thoughts and images that support your assumptions. As you go about your day, carry with you the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let it infuse every action, every interaction. Speak, think, and act from the state of one who already has what they desire. This self-pretense or deception, it is the highest form of truth. For you are claiming the reality that already exists in the realm of infinite possibility. In the face of contrary evidence, stand firm in your assumption. The outer world may not yield immediately to your new state of consciousness, but yield it must, for it has no choice. It is the shadow, and you are the light that casts it. Change the light, and the shadow must change accordingly. Be patient with yourself and with the process. Rome was not built in a day, and neither is a new self-concept. There may be moments of doubt, moments when the old patterns of thinking try to reassert themselves. When this happens, gently but firmly return to your assumption. Remember, what you persist in assuming persists in manifesting. As you continue this practice, you will find that your entire perception of reality begins to shift. What once seemed impossible becomes probable, and what was probable becomes certain. You will start to see opportunities where before you saw only obstacles. You will attract people and circumstances that align with your new state of being. This is the law of attraction in action. But understand that you are not attracting things to you from the outside. Rather, you are awakening to the reality that already exists within you. The outer world is merely conforming to your inner assumptions. In this light, consider every experience in your life as a gift, a reflection of your consciousness to be embraced and, if necessary, revised. Even seeming setbacks or challenges are opportunities for growth and realignment. They are showing you where your assumptions may still need adjustment. As you master this practice, you will find that your creative power extends beyond your personal life. You have the ability to assume the best for others as well. See your loved ones as they wish to be seen. Assume the best for your community, your nation, your world. For as you lift your own consciousness, you contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness. Remember, you are not separate from the world around you. You are an integral part of it, a unique expression of the divine creative power. As you assume states of greater harmony, abundance, and love for yourself, you make these states more accessible to all. In this 1 hour, you have been given a tool of immense power. Use it responsibly, use it lovingly, and use it consistently. The results may not always be immediate, but they are inevitable, for you are working with the very substance of creation itself. As we come to the close of this transformative hour, I urge you to take a moment to reflect on what you have learned. Feel the enormity of the power that resides within you. Embrace the responsibility that comes with this knowledge. And most importantly, put it into practice immediately. Do not wait for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances. The perfect moment is now, and the ideal circumstance is your current awareness of your creative power. Begin now to assume the state of your wish fulfilled. Feel the reality of it. Live from that state, and watch as your world transforms around you. Remember, this practice is not about forcing or manipulating external reality. It is about aligning your consciousness with the truth of your being. As you do so, you will find that life begins to flow with greater ease and grace. Synchronicities will abound, and what once seemed like obstacles reveal themselves as stepping stones to your desired reality. In the days and weeks to come, be vigilant in your practice. Guard your mind against negative assumptions and limiting beliefs. Cultivate a mental atmosphere of expectancy and wonder. Look for evidence of your assumption manifesting in your world and give thanks for it, even before it appears in physical form. For gratitude is a powerful amplifier of your creative energy. When you give thanks for your desire as if it were already fulfilled, you align yourself even more powerfully with its manifestation. Gratitude puts you in a state of receptivity, opening you to the good that is already yours. As you go forth from this hour, know that you carry within you the power to reshape your entire existence. You are not a helpless victim of circumstance, but a divine creator, molding the substance of the universe with your assumptions and beliefs. Use this power wisely. Use it to create a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment, not only for yourself, but for all those whose lives you touch. For as you elevate your own consciousness, you elevate the consciousness of the entire world. In closing, I remind you once again, this will work for you. It is working for you right now, in this very moment. Your assumption of the state of your wish fulfilled is already in motion, already reshaping the circumstances of your life to match your inner vision. Trust in this process. Have faith in your own divine nature, and above all, persist in your assumption. For what you persist in assuming must inevitably manifest in your world. Go now and create the life you desire. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. For in this 1 hour, you have been given the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies within you. Use it well and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The time is now. Assume your greatness and step into the magnificent reality that awaits you. This is your moment. Seize it with both hands and never let go. For you are the author of your life story, the creator of your reality. Write a story of greatness, of love, of abundance. Assume the best for yourself and for all of humanity. And as you do, know that you are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing the infinite. This is the promise and the potential of this one transformative hour. The seeds have been planted. Nurture them with your unwavering assumption. Water them with your faith, and watch as they blossom into the magnificent reality of your choosing. The power is yours. The time is now. Go forth and create miracles. Imagine, if you will, a world where everything you desire is already yours. A world where the mere act of wanting something pushes it further away, while the state of already possessing it in your imagination draws it closer to your physical reality. This is not a fanciful notion, but the very law by which our universe operates. Let us begin by understanding that your consciousness is the only reality. Everything that you perceive in your outer world is but a reflection of your inner states. When you say, I want, or I need, you are affirming to the universe that you do not have. And in doing so, you perpetuate that very state of lack. But when you shift your consciousness to a state of already having, when you no longer need it because in your imagination you already possess it, that is when the outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your inner conviction. Consider for a moment the nature of God. In Scripture are told, I am that I am. This is not merely a name, but a description of the creative power that resides within each of us. When you say I am, you are invoking this divine power. And whatever follows I am becomes the mold into which your life experiences are cast. So when you no longer need something, when you have moved beyond the state of wanting and into the state of being, you are aligning yourself with this creative power. You are declaring to the universe, I am that which I desire to be. And the universe, faithful to its nature, begins to reflect this new state of being. Let me share with you a principle that may at first seem counterintuitive, but which holds the key to unlocking this paradox. The principle is this: act as though it were impossible to fail. When you truly embody this principle, you are no longer striving or struggling to achieve. You are simply being that which you desire to be. Imagine a man who desires wealth. As long as he focuses on his current lack of money, as long as he says, I need more money, or I want to be rich, he is affirming his current state of poverty. But the moment he begins to feel wealthy, when he walks and talks and thinks as a wealthy person would, even before a single penny has changed in his bank account, he has set in motion the forces that will bring about his financial abundance. This is the art of revision, of rewriting your own story. You see, my dear friends, time is merely a concept created by our consciousness. The past, present, and future exists simultaneously in the eternal now. When you revise your concept of self, when you live from the end as though your desire were already fulfilled, you are re-rewriting present and future all at once. But here is where the paradox deepens. As you begin to live in this state of fulfillment, as you embody the consciousness of already having that which you desire, something miraculous happens. You begin to detach from the outcome. The burning need, the desperate wanting begins to fade away. And it is precisely in this moment of detachment that your desire often manifests in the physical world. Why is this so? Because in releasing your attachment, in no longer needing it, you have aligned yourself with the natural flow of the universe. You have moved from a state of resistance, of pushing against what is, to a state of allowance. And in this state of allowance, miracles become commonplace. Think of it like this: when you clench your fist tightly around something, your muscles become tense, rigid. But when you relax your grip, when you open your hand, you create space for new things to come into your life. This is the essence of letting go, of no longer needing. But let me be clear, my friends. This is not about becoming indifferent or apathetic. Far from it. This is about cultivating a deep, unshakable faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. It is about knowing with every fiber of your being that what you desire is already yours in the realm of imagination, and therefore must manifest in your physical reality. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness that animates it, that gives it meaning and form. When you change your consciousness, when you shift your inner state, the outer world has no choice but to conform to this new pattern. Let us explore this concept further through the lens of love and relationships. Many seek a loving partner, focusing on their current state of loneliness or lack. They say, I want to find my soulmate, or I need someone to complete me. But in doing so, they are affirming their incompleteness, their lack of love. Now, imagine instead that you begin to embody the state of being in a loving relationship. You feel the warmth, the joy, the companionship, as though your ideal partner were already by your side. You live each day from this state of fulfillment. What happens then? Often it is precisely when you no longer feel the desperate need for a relationship that the perfect partner appears in your life. This is not coincidence or chance. This is the law of assumption at work. By assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, by living in the end, you have changed your vibration, your energy, and the universe in its infinite wisdom brings to you that which matches your new state of being. But the paradox grows even deeper as you begin to live from this state of fulfillment. As you embody the consciousness of already having a loving relationship, You may find that your need for an external partner diminishes. You discover that the love you sought outside yourself was always within you. And in this discovery, you become truly whole, truly complete. It is from this place of wholeness that you can then enter into a relationship not from a place of need or lack, but from a place of abundance and joy. And it is these relationships born of wholeness rather than need that are often the most fulfilling and lasting. The same principle applies to all areas of life, health, career, personal growth. When you no longer need perfect health because you already feel vibrant and alive in your imagination, that is when your body often begins to heal itself. When you no longer desperately seek success because you already feel successful in your mind's eye, that is when opportunities seem to magically appear. But let me caution you, my friends, this is not about wishful thinking or idle daydreaming. This is about a disciplined use of your imagination, coupled with a deep, unwavering faith in the creative power of your consciousness. It requires persistence and patience. For while the seed of your desire is planted instantly in the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it may take time for that seed to grow and bear fruit in your physical reality. During this period of gestation, you must guard your mind carefully, for doubts and fears will try to creep in, attempting to uproot the seed you have planted. This is where many falter, where many give up just before their desire is about to manifest. They say, I've tried this, and it doesn't work. But in saying so, they are once again affirming lack, once again pushing away that which they desire. Instead, you must persist in your assumption. You must live each day as though your desire were already fulfilled, regardless of any contrary evidence presented by your senses. For remember, your senses only show you a reflection of past states of consciousness. They cannot show you what is coming, what is already set in motion by your shift in consciousness. This persistence in assumption is what I call the art of patience. It is not a passive waiting, but an active state of being. It is living each day from the consciousness of already being or having that which you desire, knowing with unshakable faith that it must manifest in your physical reality. And here we come to another aspect of the paradox. As you persist in this state, as you continue to live from the end, something remarkable happens. You begin to enjoy the journey itself. The present moment becomes infused with the joy and fulfillment of your imagined future. And in this enjoyment of the present, in this cessation of striving for a future state, you open yourself up even more fully to receiving that which you have imagined. Consider the story of Joseph in the Bible. Sold into slavery by his brothers, imprisoned unjustly, he could have focused on his current circumstances, on his need to escape his situation. But instead, he lived from the state of being a ruler, of being wise and respected. And in time, he rose to become second only to Pharaoh in all of Egypt. Joseph's story illustrates a crucial point. Your circumstances do not determine your state of consciousness. Rather, your state of consciousness determines your circumstances. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what challenges you face, you have the power to choose your inner state, to live from the end. This is the true meaning of free will. It is not the ability to control external events, but the power to choose your inner state regardless of external circumstances. And in choosing your inner state, in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you set in motion the forces that will reshape your outer world. But let us delve even deeper into this paradox. As you begin to master this art of living from the end, as you become adept at assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you may find that your desires themselves begin to change. What once seemed crucial and all-important may fade in significance. new higher aspirations may take their place. This too is part of the paradox of manifestation. For as you align yourself more and more with your true self, with the divine creative power within you, your desires naturally evolve. You begin to want not just for yourself, but for the greater good. Your manifestations become not just personal achievements, but gifts to the world. And here we touch upon the ultimate paradox. As you master the art of manifestation, as you learn to create your reality through the power of your consciousness, you may find that your greatest desire becomes simply to be an instrument of the divine, to allow the infinite creative power to flow through you unimpeded, to manifest not for personal gain, but for the upliftment of all. In this state, you no longer manifest from a place of lack or need. You manifest from a place of abundance, of overflowing love and creativity. And it is in this state that the most miraculous manifestations often occur. For when you align yourself fully with the divine creative power, when you become a clear channel for this power to flow into the world, you become capable of manifesting not just personal desires, but profound transformations that benefit all of humanity. This, my dear friends, is the highest form of manifestation. It is no longer about getting, but about giving. It is no longer about fulfilling personal desires, but about allowing yourself to be used as an instrument of the divine will. And paradoxically, it is in this state of complete surrender, of no longer needing or wanting anything for yourself, that you often receive more abundance than you ever dreamed possible. But how does one reach this exalted state? How does one move from manifesting personal desires to becoming a channel for divine manifestation? The path is the same as we have been discussing. It begins with assuming the state of the wish fulfilled, with living from the end. But in this case, the end you are living from is the state of being one with the divine creative power. Imagine yourself as a clear channel, a perfect instrument through which the infinite creativity of the universe flows. Feel the joy, the peace, the sense of purpose that comes with this state. Live each day from this consciousness and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. This is not to say that you should deny or suppress your personal desires. Rather, it is about expanding your consciousness to include ever greater, more inclusive desires. It is about aligning your personal will with the divine will, recognizing that at the deepest level they are one and the same. As you practice this, you may find that the paradox of manifestation resolves itself. For when you are fully aligned with the divine creative power, when you are living as a clear channel for this power, there is no separation between wanting and having, between desiring and manifesting. In this state, creation becomes effortless, instantaneous. But let me caution you once again. This state is not reached through striving or effort. It is not something you can force or make happen through sheer willpower. Rather, it is a state that you allow yourself to fall into, like sinking into a warm bath. It comes through surrender, through letting go of all resistance, all doubt, all fear. This surrender, this letting go, brings us full circle to where we began. For it is in the state of no longer needing, of no longer desperately wanting, that we open ourselves fully to receiving. It is when we release our tight grip on our desires that we create the space for them to manifest. So, my dear friends, as you go forth from here, I urge you to practice this art of living from the end. Choose a desire, something you wish to manifest in your life. Then, instead of focusing on the lack of it, on the wanting of it, immerse yourself in the feeling of already having it. Live each day from that state of fulfillment. But go beyond this. Expand your consciousness to include ever greater desires. Allow yourself to become a channel for the divine creative power. Live from the state of being one with this power, of allowing it to flow through you unimpeded. And as you do this, watch for the paradox to unfold in your life. Notice how, As you release your attachment to outcomes, as you no longer desperately need your desires to manifest, they often appear in your life with an ease and grace that seems miraculous. Remember, the outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. Change your inner state, and the outer world must change to match it. This is the law, immutable and eternal. But the greatest change, the most profound transformation, comes when you align yourself fully with the divine creative power within you. In this alignment, in this surrender, you discover the ultimate truth, that you are not separate from the creative power of the universe, but are one with it. You are not merely a creature in the universe, but are the universe expressing itself in human form. And in this realization, all paradoxes dissolve, all limitations fall away. So go forth, my friends, and live from this truth. Live each day as though all your desires were already fulfilled, as though you were already one with the infinite creative power of the universe. For in truth you are. And as you live from this truth, you will manifest miracles not just in your own life, but in the lives of all those around you. This is your birthright, your true nature. Claim it, live it, be it, and watch as the paradox of manifestation unfolds in your life, bringing you more abundance, more joy, more love than you ever dreamed possible. For when you no longer need it, when you no longer cling to it with desperate desire, that is when it manifests. This is the paradox, and this is the promise. Embrace it, embody it, and step into the limitless life that awaits you. Remember, my dear friends, that this journey of manifestation is not about accumulating things or achievements. It is about becoming more of who you truly are. It is about allowing the divine essence within you to express itself more fully in your life. As you continue to practice living from the end, as you persist in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will find that your entire being begins to shift. Your thoughts, your emotions, your very vibration aligns more and more with the reality you desire to create. This alignment is key, for manifestation is not about forcing the universe to bend to your will. It is about aligning yourself with the natural flow of creation, about becoming a conscious co-creator with the universe. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you tune to a specific frequency, you receive the broadcast on that frequency. Similarly, when you tune your consciousness to the frequency of your desired reality, you begin to receive the experiences, opportunities, and circumstances that match that frequency. But here's another paradox. The more you practice this art of manifestation, the more you realize that the true joy lies not in the getting, but in the being. The thrill is not in acquiring the object of your desire, but in experiencing yourself as the person who has that desire fulfilled. This shift in focus from getting to being is transformative. It frees you from the endless cycle of wanting and acquiring, only to want more. Instead, it allows you to find fulfillment in the present moment, in the very act of being the person you aspire to be. And here's where the paradox deepens even further. As you find this fulfillment in being rather than getting, you often find that the things you once desperately wanted begin to flow into your life with ease. But by then you may find that you no longer need them in the way you once did. You appreciate them, you enjoy them, but your happiness, your sense of self-worth no longer depends on them. This state of non-attachment, of appreciating without needing, is the fertile ground in which miracles grow. It is a state of being that allows the universe to surprise and delight you with manifestations beyond your wildest dreams. But let me be clear, the state of non-attachment does not mean becoming passive or indifferent. On the contrary, it allows you to engage with life more fully, more passionately than ever before. Because when your happiness no longer depends on specific outcomes, you are free to throw yourself wholeheartedly into the experience, every endeavor. This is the state of inspired action, Action taken not from a place of lack or need, but from a place of joy, of creative self-expression. And it is this inspired action, coupled with your aligned state of being, that often leads to the most magnificent manifestations. Consider the great innovators and creators throughout history. They did not create from a place of desperate need or want. They created from a place of inspired vision, of seeing possibilities where others saw only limitations. They lived from the end, embodying the reality they wished to create long before it manifested in the physical world. This brings us to another crucial aspect of the paradox of manifestation, the role of faith. Faith in this context is not blind belief or wishful thinking. It is a deep, unshakable knowing that what you have imagined must come to pass. It is the ability to see the invisible, to feel the intangible, to believe the incredible. This kind of faith is not always easy to maintain, especially when your physical senses tell you that nothing has changed. This is where persistence comes in. Persistence in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persistence in living from the end, even when all evidence seems to contradict your inner knowing. Remember, my dear friends, that your senses only show you the world as it was, not as it is becoming. They show you the effects of past thoughts and beliefs, not the causes you are setting in motion with your current state of consciousness. This is why it's crucial to base your faith not on what your eyes see, but on what your imagination shows you. For your imagination is the gateway to the infinite possibilities that exist in the realm of pure potential. It is through your imagination that you connect with the creative power of the universe. But here's another paradox. While faith is crucial, attachment to outcomes can hinder manifestation. This is where the art of surrendering comes in. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up on your desires. It means releasing your attachment to how and when they will manifest. When you surrender in this way, you open yourself up to possibilities beyond what your limited human mind can conceive. You allow the infinite intelligence of the universe to bring about your manifestation in ways that are often far more wonderful than anything you could have planned. This surrender, this letting go, is what allows the paradox of manifestation to unfold in your life. When you no longer need it, when you're no longer desperate for it, that's often when it appears. Because in that state of surrender, of non-attachment, you are most aligned with the natural flow of creation. Think of it like planting a seed. You plant the seed, your desire, in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind through imagination and feeling. You water it with your faith and persistence in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. But then you must let it grow in its own time. You don't dig up the seed every day to see if it's growing. You trust in the unseen processes that are bringing your desire to fruition. This trust, this patience is an integral part of the manifestation process. It allows the universe to work its magic, to bring together all the elements necessary for your desire to manifest in the best possible way. But patience doesn't mean passivity. While you're waiting for your desire to manifest, live fully in the present moment. Enjoy the journey. Find ways to embody the essence of what you're desiring right now. If you're manifesting wealth, find ways to feel abundant in your current circumstances. If you're manifesting love, be loving to yourself and others. This brings us to another important point. Manifestation is not just about changing your external reality. It's about transforming yourself in the process. As you persist in living from the end, as you continue to embody the person who already has what you desire, you undergo a profound inner transformation. You begin to shed limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns. You start to see yourself and the world around you in a new light. You become more confident, more empowered, more aligned with your true self. And it is this inner transformation that often paves the way for the outer manifestation. Because as you change, your vibration changes. And as your vibration changes, you naturally attract experiences and circumstances that match your new elevated state of being. This is why the paradox of manifestation is so powerful. It's not just about getting what you want. It's about becoming the person who naturally attracts and creates what you want. It's about aligning yourself with the abundance, love, and success that are your birthright. As we near the end of our exploration of this profound paradox, I want to leave you with a final thought. The ultimate goal of manifestation is not to accumulate things or achievements. It's to fully express your divine nature, to become a clear channel through which the infinite creativity of the universe can float. When you reach this state, you no longer manifest from a place of lack or need. You manifest from a place of abundance, of overflowing love and creativity. Your desires become aligned with the highest good for all. And paradoxically, it's in this state of complete surrendering that you often experience the most magnificent manifestations. So my dear friends, as you go forth from here, remember the paradox we've explored tonight. Remember that when you no longer need it, when you fully embody the state of already having it, that's when it often manifests. Live from the end. Persist in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. Have faith in the unseen processes that are bringing your desires to fruition. Surrender your attachment to outcomes. Allow yourself to be transformed in the process. And above all, never forget that you are not separate from the creative power of the universe. You are one with it. You are it, expressing itself in human form. Embody this truth, live from this knowing, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. The paradox of manifestation is not just a principle to be understood intellectually. It is a truth to be lived, to be experienced in every moment of your existence. It is an invitation to step into your true power, to claim your divine heritage as a creator of your reality. So go forth, my friends, and create. Create with joy, with love, with the full knowledge of your oneness with the infinite. For in doing so, you not only manifest your desires, but you fulfill the very purpose of your existence, to be a living expression of the divine creative power that flows through all things. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. Everything you see, everything you experience is a reflection of your own consciousness. Change your consciousness, and you change your world. This is the promise and the challenge of the paradox of manifestation. Embrace it fully. Live it boldly. And watch as your life transforms in ways more beautiful and magnificent than you ever dared to imagine. For when you no longer need it, when you are it, that is when it manifests. This is the paradox. And this is the promise. Now go and live it.